Okay, this video is about how to do a warp. So, he's going to grab a key here, and I'm going to open the door, save the character. He goes through this cage door, like I talked about in my previous video. Like I told you before, he got stuck because this was a solid door. So I made it whereas I parented it to a hidden wall, so he's able to go through it this time, so you're not going to get stuck. So I'll talk about that. But I grabbed the key, and now it opened the door over here because I got all of my prisoners, and there's the warp right there. So I'm going to go into that warp, and I jump over to this area where I have all the weapons and food and all that stuff. And I just came from this area over here. I was over in this location here, and I went to the warp, and I jumped over there. So I'll show you how I did that. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the cage door right here where it says object open cell not. Once I open the door, this becomes open door cell. So I went to if I can find it. I know it's over here somewhere. It's one of these. Right here. Okay. So object open cell. So I parented to object hidden wall. And so that way it's going to make it where I go through the cell, because before I had it set up to the object wall basics, which means that it's a solid wall and you can't go through it. So I got rid of that object basics wall basics and changed it to hidden wall. So that way he's going to go through the cell. That way he doesn't get stuck when you're trying to collect the prisoner. When you get out of there, you're not going to get stuck. So I changed it to hidden wall, so that way you go through the cell door, that way you don't get stuck. So that's the first thing I did. I just switched this parented object. Because the hidden wall, so we parented to a hidden wall, so the hidden wall has where it's visible, but it's not solid. And then it's this texture wall, but like I said, it doesn't take the attributes. It don't take this image of the wall. It takes the image of the cell door. I'm just taking the attributes from it, which is not going to be solid, because the wall basics. Well, that's not solid either. I don't know. The code's different, I believe. That makes it solid. Draw. It doesn't have this has a draw event in here. It should be. I think it's all. I think I have it set up in the parent object of the object player. See, it's set up object wall basics. Has this information right here where he pretty much stops. So when you collide with object wall basics, this code generates and happens where you're going to stop at the wall. You're not going to go through it. This is the code for the object wall basics. And so I don't have that linked. The cell is not linked to this object wall basics, because this code basically stops you at the wall pretty much. That's what this code does. So I don't have it set up to Object Wall Basics. I have it set up to the hidden wall. And you can see that I don't have this code for the Object Wall Basics in with the hidden wall. It's not parented. That code that basically is set up where he's not going to move at all is not in there with the hidden wall. The hidden wall doesn't have that characteristics, so he's going to be able to go through it. Because like I said, this code right here makes him stop, and that code is not in with the hidden wall, so he's not going to stop and go right through it. Alright, so let's move on to the next part, which is going to be the object warp. So this is object warp in here. Once I open this door after I collected the prisoner, that's going to open the door, and then I'm going to go in that warp there, and it's right here, object warp, and do a draw event, then coded sheet, and it's just basically the same code as I did for so all this is doing is, like, when you rotate around the object rotates with the camera, so it doesn't look flat. So that code is set up the same way as I did with the barrels and the ammo and all that stuff. It's the same code. You just change out the sprint image right here, pretty much. And I also changed this number here to 18, which stretches it out bigger, you know, because like the ammo, it's drawn at 3, see, so it's small and short. So I wanted it long as like a doorway, so I changed that to 18, and then set the Y to 0, which I think the ammo is set that way. Yeah, because 0 is like it's on the floor basically, and then this right here will stretch it from bottom to top, I believe. So that's why that's 18, to make it look like a door. And then use the SPR warp image, and that is going to be in the sprint textures here. It's this image right here, and it's just an image. Well, it does animate, so it blinks. But I had to make, in order to make that blink, I had to use a set of variable, say image speed 0.2. That makes it blink. If I don't have this variable in here, it's not gonna blink. It'll stay at image 0 for some reason. So you got to add that variable in there for that to animate. Okay, and then object player. Let's see, when it hits the object warp, it's going to jump to 450 by 330. X is 450, Y is 330, and that jump is right in the move tab here. Drag over a jump to position, and I got that number in this location here. I just pointed my mouse, and I got the X and Y coordinates of where he wants to jump at, and I plugged that number in. Plug that number in with the player. So when he collides with the warp, those numbers are set, and so he's going to jump in that location every time. So that's how you do the warp for Fake 3D. And I got a couple more videos to do for Fake 3D. I want to do a boss, but I'm trying to figure out how to set that up. Like when you move in different directions, the boss follows you. So stay tuned to that, but I have some other ones before the boss I'll do. Alright, well, thanks for watching.